Oh, what's this? Looks like a pile of detritus. Let's put it together and destroy, destroy. Ah! Time for Wakeangel 2001's Construx Retrospective.
Hello guys, this is Wakeangel2K1 coming at you with the next part of the Construx Retrospective. The one wherein we say goodbye to this guitar, which is so big I had to hold it diagonally to make it fit on screen. And we build the next thing in the booklet, which in this case is, as I mentioned yesterday, the tank. Because, you know, you gotta have at least one military vehicle in there, and I don't know, unless you count the giant robot, I don't think we've had any actual military vehicles in the set so far. I mean, the plane is just a seaplane, it can do anything, and the giant robot is like for future wars, so yeah, no official war machines until now. This one actually has some great other building ideas, whether it's a small simple thing like a snowmobile, something a little bit more science fiction-y, like a different version of like a submersible. That looks like a submersible, but a different design than the one that the book had. Oh, a smaller truck that actually has its trailer. Remember at the beginning we had a gigantic truck with no trailer. I don't know what this is, but it looks kind of cool, and it has caterpillar tracks. A robot hammerhead shark, a spaceship, which looks like a bigger version of the shuttle that I like to make, and a race car, like an Indy 500 style one, a needle nose spaceship thing on skis, and a dinosaur. All kinds of things you can make. But we are going to make the thing that is officially in the book, so let's do that tank.
Okay, here is the freshly constructed tank. It's kind of a simple thing. We'll get to that in the next live action portion of the video, but yeah, it's basically just a tank. Like, no real bells and whistles, it's just a tank. I mean, what is a tank, really? It's a tank. You got treads, you got exhaust pipes, you got a turret. That's basically what a tank is. Okay, so let's go back to live footage.
And here it is, the tank. It's smaller than I expected it to be. It's actually one of the smallest things that I built in this set. Like, I believe it's even smaller than that submersible, which was the previous smallest thing that I had made. But it is pretty cool. Like, you have a small gun up here that rotates around. The barrel can go up and down, and it has a rotating turret. Although it sometimes gets pinned on things. I believe they intended for the turret to move when you, like, it is geared. Like, you turn this crank and it makes the turret turn. See? Thing is, like, the turret's heavy and it keeps on, the turret's heavy so it doesn't want to turn, and then even worse, the blue things, like the cubes, they snag on the panels that make up the top of the tank. So yeah, you get issues with that. Also, it's only held on by a single connector, so it's easy to accidentally knock the whole thing off, and then kind of really have to get your fingers in there to get it back in. It's hard. While I'm doing this, I think it's time for me to talk about the plastic quality. I cracked another piece while I was making this, bringing my total number of cracked pieces to 3. And there's one thing that all 3 of those pieces had in common. They were all the blue ones. Not a single black part has cracked or even shows stress marks. So it's my conclusion that the plastic that these Construx sets were made out of is originally black, and they must have added something to the blue pieces to turn them blue, and that chemically weakened them. It wasn't noticeable at first, but after 24 years, the blue parts are becoming more brittle. Brittleness that the black parts do not have. So that is what I believe is the issue. Of course, I should say I cracked them, but I did not destroy them. I was able to fix them with crazy glue. In fact, here's one of the pieces that I repaired with crazy glue the other day. I don't know if you can actually see the glue, or even, yeah, you can see the crack line where I glued the part that cracked off back on. And I used one of the pieces that I had previously repaired in here. So, yeah, that one, it was a piece like this, one of the short connectors. It cracked in half down the middle. I had to glue it back together. So a piece like that, which I fixed, is in here and it held up. So if the piece breaks, it's not the end of the world. It might still be possible to save them. But yeah, like you got your tank. It has caterpillar tracks. It can roll back and forth, but you don't want to push it too fast because you can make the caterpillar tracks pop off of the wheels. And, I don't know, it's kind of basic. It's 2 caterpillar tracks with a platform on top, and then with a box on top of the platform. There's a little hatch on top of there. So, you know, it's very basic, it's very modest, but, you know, what is a tank other than a big artillery cannon on, you know, treads? That's literally all a tank has to be. I mean, the fact that you can rotate the cab of it, and that it has a bonus little gun there, you know, like, it has pretty much everything you would want out of a tank. A tank is a very simple but effective device, which is why it's such a common sight in warfare. I mean, I guess you have these things, like access hatches, I guess. Not really important. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Build time was 44 minutes. So, yeah. That's not the shortest build time, but it is a relatively short build time. So what is next? Oh, wow. Okay, yes. Tomorrow we will be going over the definitive largest thing that this set makes, the massive Mecha Robot. So, yeah, I remember as a kid, I only built that thing once because it was such a huge and complicated thing that I didn't want to go through it all again. So, I'm predicting that we'll have the longest build time of any. But yes, that is tomorrow. For now, this is the Wakeangel2K1 Construx Retrospective, signing off.